say welcome back to another fine episode of Piper Doug and whatever we're going to be able to get up to. Yeah. It's supposed to be a lovely week, apparently. Just got to get past this part. And yes, it's Tuesday, and yes, we're supposed to be pouring concrete on Thursday. Yeah. So, basically, just got to put out a bunch of bales and stuff to the animals and just wait it out. That's kind of what we do here in the prairies. No point in doing any bedding. There's not a lot you can't do because it's not pleasant and it is slippy. So I just want to thank everybody for the well wishes over the last video. I was losing the family dog. Yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a bummer, but he was 14 years old and the vets had all said that for the type of dog he was, he had lived a very good long life. And I don't know if I made this really clear. I kind of looked back in the video and I don't think I worded it right. When I said that his twin brother is still here on the farm, his twin brother passed away a couple of years back. He had had cancer. So we kept him, he was cremated, we kept him in the house. So he's here, and then our older chocolate lab, Robbie, he's still here too. So all three of them are going to go into the same little burial hole. So we will do that in the springtime. So that'll be a family affair when the kids are home. So yeah. So I'll maybe bring you back when it's not as yucky. You all know you've done this. Do to warm your gloves up. Get them hot. Oh, this weather sucks. And we're back in the play shop. Messy. Anyway, you all know that. So in true Piper Doug fashion, it's going to be a while till I could get in and get a blank for this, and I need this right away in case my next bale people want to be loaded. And I feel like this is probably going to be quicker than the little green guy, because the little green guy is pretty well hooked up to the bale processor all the time. So I've come up with this, little bits of angle iron. So I'm going to cut the hole with the plasma here. Then I'll put another piece of angle iron back here and close it in, stiffen it and strengthen it. But what I was bringing you back for was yet again another use for all the old disc bind blades. There you go. Look at that. Hey. So yeah, just to add a little bit more strength to this, because as we all know, the other thing ripped off. So yeah, weldy, and then we're going to really hard attach it on this side. So these welds, because there's not a lot there, they won't count for much. I did manage to get a stitch along the underside, but that's still very thin catch. So that should give me a pretty good adhesion. And then, like I said, I'll put another piece of angle iron in here. So I'll bring you back for that. Okay, so there's the other one. Kind of wandered up on that one a little bit. And another one. So yeah, that's what I was after. Those tabs of angle iron on the back side there, just to help with adhesion. So I was kind of wondering about making up little triangles to close those in, but I don't want to close them in Because if I got the pins going in here, if there's any crud, I need to be able to get it out. That's the problem. Yeah. So now I'm gonna drop it, hook it up to the skidding steer, and then I'll mark where the holes go. Because we all know I'll get the holes spot on. Bring you back. Well, I know the angles aren't exactly perfect, but she locks in and it's solid. Like I said, there is a lot of pin. Try to see in there. Yeah, there you go. There's the pin there. So she's in. She's locked. We got a casualty of war. I was using my plasma cutter. Me and it have a very torturous relationship. Let's put it that way. I'm either just gonna have to bite the bullet and invest in a set of oxygen acetylene bottles, because I do actually have a kit here somewhere. There is hoses, and then there's a gun set somewhere in this mess. Yes, I know, it's awful. It's an operation in works. But anyway, I was using the plasma cutter to cut the holes, and I had this thing up on blocks, and it fell over and it landed on the control panel, and now it triggers, but it won't light up. It won't arc. And I tried the ground, and I tried cleaning the contacts on the gun. It won't arc. So I don't know what's wrong with it, and I just completely ran out of patience with it. So I took it off, and I used the grinders to make the holes, and it works. And it's done. And I don't want to look at that anymore, so it's just going into the bench over there, out of the way, till I can be bothered with it. So there we go. So the old bale fork 5000 is back in action. Saved myself a few $100 from having to go buy a skid steer blank, and yeah, modified my forehead while doing it. So one of the jobs that we have to look at a certain point, I'm gonna see if I can do this without killing myself even more, is this. Let's see if I can do this. I have a sneaking suspicion the bushings in here are in really bad shape. So I'm going to have to drive these pins out and measure this, and then order bushings, because there's no, however you pronounce that word, there's no Takauchi dealer near here. The nearest one is 3 hours away in Winnipeg. So yeah, I got to order that up. And I also, as I am looking here, I have to order up an O-ring kit for the joysticks, because this thing goes through oil pretty bad. But that's, I don't want that to go too much further, because I don't want to be rebuilding this. So anyway, let's get on. This old bugger is, at least it'll still sit at 30 miles an hour on the road, which makes for driving up to the Agco place go a little bit quicker. I think if I drove as slow as the John Deere, I would definitely be loading on a trailer. But we're halfway there. Gonna get fixed. Yeah. Ooh. The Crete of Con. Nice. Whew. So eventually, this 144 feet will be added to 160 more feet into the next two pens. So there will be 300 feet of this. Lovely. Money well spent. This will save a lot of issues of feeding, because, and not only is this for the cows to eat at the feed rail where we will be putting silage and hay, because of the way that we're building the headlock feed rail system, and then we will have a back rail here that will open into the pen. This will all be processing as well. So we'll have processing on this side and we'll have processing on that side. I'm throwing an idea around, and I think I talked about this, about having a device that can be hooked to the feed rail, and you'll be able to do feet on the animals when they're locked up. So if you have a couple, you want to just do a quick trim, you'll have a thing that will run along the concrete, and then you'll hook it, and then you can wind their legs up. So that will be in a future video, designing that. So yeah, lovely. So, what you're looking at there for all those not of the prairies, and this is what you do when you pour concrete in the winter here. Now there is insulated tarps on the concrete, but as I'll show you, the tarps as advertised by Princesses of the Autos were not big enough. They were not the numbers they were advertised as. So the straw helps fill in the gaps, and the straw helps hold the tarps down. So that's what that is. Actually, when we poured the first concrete on the other side 20 years ago, we just used straw. We didn't put tarps down. So it does work. Well, it might not look like much right now, but that's a big piece to our puzzle. Like I said, that's 144 feet of 12-foot slab. And like I said in the previous clip, hopefully this coming year we will do the next part, which will be 160, I think it is, pretty well. Let's just look in this feed rail. It's gonna need a fair bit of tweaking when we put the new top rail on. I'll have to push all of these back. That's the problem, this side is all undermined. You see the foundations? Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a lot of pulling. Yeah. Oh, what a mucky mess. Yeah, and calves climbing in the bale rings. That's fun. Anyway. Yeah, they're doing good. Everybody's on the up and up. Man, they've damn near emptied those mineral tubs already. That's just a week. Anyway. Okay, new project. So, we're starting, first gate we're making is the gate at the back of the number 2 south pen. Now, it's going to be 15 feet across and it's going to be 8 feet tall. People will be like, why 8 feet tall? Well, actually the gate's only going to be about 5 feet tall. That's the uprights there. So it'll go from like there to about there. The reason there's an 8 feet is the gate is going to be tinned because it's the boundary, the south wall along the shelters. So I'd far rather have that gateway closed in than have it be an alleyway for snow to blow in, because we do get storms coming in from the south side. So I'd far rather have the gate tinned and closed in. That way for snow, or if we're doing weaning or calves or whatever, then they're not reaching through and all that good stuff. But so some of the sticks of this is 2-inch square tubing we're using for the big gates, because I'm going to make in 2 more gates for over the concrete pad where the 2 corrals are separated, because there's never been gates made for them. So there's a bunch of this steel that's been inside, and then some of the steel was left outside, so I'm going to try and get the older steel used. And yes, it might have a little bit of wows in it, but for this it's going to be fine. But I wondered if the pipes were kind of heavy. Yeah, you might just want to just check down the inside of the sticks of steel, just to make sure they're not packed by critters, because it'll rust the inside of the bars out. Honest to gosh, that's a quarter of an oil pail full of chaff and now rust. Honest to gosh. So I'm going to have to pour oil down the inside of these pipes to stop them rusting. Buggers. They're not happy with me. It's not a very warm day. It's never got much above 0. Bit of a breeze. But I've got them shut out of here because I'm trying to clean up all these busted branches that come down in here. So I've got to clean this up, pick that that log up, so I can move these bales, because I need to start taking this wall down, because it's got so much melted snow and rain on it that if it freezes up now, there's a chance that the net will get frozen to each other. Then these bales will all just burst. So I'm going to clean all the sticks and stuff up, because I've got a fire going, or should I say recycling going down there, and then I can let them back in. So yeah, always projects. So it's time. I know you're all like, no, Piper Doug, no. Yes, it's time to wrap this up. I've dragged this out too long. Yes, no, we have to say goodbye. Yes, we have to say farewell. What are we doing? Well, we're building a nightclub. That's the DJ booth up there, right by the heater. Yeah, like waka waka waka. No. Anyway, so yeah, started dragging the steel out to start building gates. I think you already saw that in one of the last clips. And now you see sawdust and wood and whatever that is. So, yeah. What's happening? So, there is two things going on here. Yes, there is, yes. This space under here is the perfect size for A, the quad, or 3, the lawn tractor. Either or fits in there. Yes, that is this way. Because yeah, it'll be nice to have somewhere and out of the way to park either of those pieces. Probably the garden tractor, because the quad sometimes does get brought out in the winter time, so maybe having it not dug in would be a good idea. Which brings us to this. Now, as you can see, it's quite robust, quite strong. As you can see, there is bracketry screwed to studs in the wall. There is a underpinning for the plate to sit on. So you'd be asking, what? But probably none of you even have like moved on. It's like, next. So what this is for totes. Totes cray cray, not totes cray cray. What this is for oil totes. We inherited 2 of them from the other farm when the family farm sold up. So there's one, as you would suspect, an engine oil and a hydraulic oil. So yeah, our plan is towards the end of the year, for tax purposes, old gooberment there, is to pre-buy as much as we can for next year. So as you can tell, we have plenty of net wrap left for a new year. I think that should be enough to do all of our hay. Might need to get more for straw, because we didn't do any straw this year. That's why there's so much left. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna put the 2 totes up here. And the nice thing about that is, when the totes go up, then that way it's just gravity fed oil jug glug 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 thing. So yeah, the totes are 4 feet long and they're 40 something inches wide, so 2 will fit on here quite easily. I had thought about making this a little bit more, just more, and then that way it would have more storage, because I have like steel and stuff, but I think I'll just end up making a rack somewhere over here in that general vicinity. So yeah, that's what that is. There you go. It's fairly robust. The only thing I'm gonna do is either plywood it, because that'll stop it from wanting to do this. Because yes, this is not very strong, but the problem is the quad is almost 4 feet wide, and this is 4 feet. So I can't put anything like that. I probably could put lateral here, so might end up doing that. Good thinking, guys. I knew you would come up with a great idea. So yeah, so that's, oh yeah, most of you will have never seen that. That's my bike. That's the bike I used to ride when I was going to rugby practices, when I was courting the Mrs. Piper Doug. Yeah, I tricked her into marrying me. She thought it was like some daredevil rich farmer. And then it was too late. She couldn't back out. So there you go, Mrs. Piper Doug. Yeah. Anyway. And yes, this thing will run by the end of winter. I promise you. Hold me to it, guys. Hold something. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think it's finishing time. This week, the bushings are supposed to be in, so I can rebuild this old bugger. Get this done. And the new radiator for old Johnny Green there. That's why the hood's still sitting here. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll the green one in one night, strip it, pull the rad. Well, I'll drop the coolant first, switch the rads out, put it all back together, and then that should be him. Mint! And yeah, and then that's getting carted out. And then there'll be another project coming in here. To be decided. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you come back next week. Thanks to all the lovely new subscribers. Yeah, I just hope I can keep you all entertained and not maim myself in the process. So yeah, concrete was poured. We're starting to make gates, and in the next couple of weeks we will be probably starting to do the feed rail, so look out for that. I'm going to be moving the generator over from one of the other trucks to the other truck, because the old guy, the 97, has a dead short somewhere. It runs, that's the funny part. All my trucks run right now, currently running. Ha! Anyway, so I figured I'll just, instead of messing with the old geezer, I'm going to take the 03, the 6 liter, put the welder in the back of him, and he's getting licensed this winter, so the dually's getting taken off the road. So the one job, like I'll tell you before we go, don't run away, don't run away! The one job to do to the 6 liter before we go any further is I have a new center back window, the sliding window part for the back of the cab, because someone shot the back window out of my truck. Prove me wrong. It was parked in the driveway, and the next thing, the back window was gone. So I have a new sliding back window, bought it off of the old Ebates. And then the dually's coming off the road, and while the dually is off the road, it's getting deleted. And speaking of big, long, hollow thing, yes, it's getting straight piped too. So look forward to that. Anyway, okay, I'm going for my porridge. Thanks for watching. Comment down below, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. See y'all later. Chatty boy.